Hi girls and guys, it's me again, Ryan, aka Warfare27. It's been a wee while since I last did a video, just not really had time, not really in the mood, haven't really done a lot of gaming and watched a lot of films over the last few weeks, but just haven't been bothered. Quite tired, quite a bit with work. So I've got a wee bit of a backlog of things that I want to talk about today. Again, normal kind of update video. So I want to start off with some of the games first that I've got. The first one we'll start off, I'm not sure if I mentioned it in the previous video because it was that while long ago, I can't remember. But it is Lollipop Chainsaw for the Xbox 360. Um, don't Can't really say a lot about this game, to be honest with you, because I haven't quite finished it and I'm still making my mind up about whether or not I like it as much as I maybe initially did. It is quite competitive. Um, it's a fun game. It's a bit rough around the edges, but it's just basically zombie slaying, but done in a kind of humorous manner. It's done by Suda51, who did No More Heroes, Shadows of the Damned. So if you've kind of played those games before, you probably kind of know what to expect going into this game. Um, Again, I haven't finished it. It's not a very overly long game compared to some reviews I've read that say it's only about 5 or 6 hours. I have to kind of agree with them. I know I've done about half the game, 3/4 of the game, and I've only maybe spent 2 to 3 hours playing it. It's okay if you just want a quick, fun game to kind of throw on and play, but if you're looking for something a bit more kind of substantial, a bit more kind of to get your teeth into, avoid this one. If you can get this one cheap again, it's not a bad one to pick up and play if it's a rental or if you get it quite cheap. But I wouldn't pay full price for this game. I did because that's who I am. I don't bother waiting around. I probably will be trading this one in very soon once I've finished it because I don't think there's much time to go back and play it. The soundtrack of this game is very good, and ties in very well with kind of the character of the cheerleader that you play. And again, it's got some really funny one-liners in here, mainly on her headless, bodiless boyfriend who's just a head that's attached to her waist. So you can see them just there. Again, it's rated 18 because it is quite gory. It's a quirky, fun little game, but not one to kind of get into much. Next one I got is a game I used to have and I sold it, and then I kind of regretted selling it, so I got it back again. It's annoying that the company that made it have gone bust since, but this is Blur. And to be honest with you, it's one of my can't talk again. Sorry, it's one of my most favourite racing games of recent years that I've played. I like to kind of call it Mario Kart for grown-ups because it's proper cars on tracks, but there is kind of weapons, power-ups, damage models and stuff like that. It's just a really fun game, and I hope that they keep the servers for online playing going on for quite a while. Because you can pick this up quite cheap now. I mean, I paid just over £10 for this, which seems quite steep because it's been out for a couple of years. But it's a really fun racing game, and it looks fantastic as well, especially in HD. And if you don't have this game, I do recommend picking up and playing it. It's fun online. It's got this whole Twitter, Facebook integration into it as well. So if you're into social media websites, this is quite good for kind of going online, boasting about times and beating friends and all that kind of stuff. It's just a really, really fun game, and I like this game a lot. That's all I'm going to say about that one. Another one, I haven't played much of it. I've only just got it recently. Played the demo, and I thought it was really good. And I've left it for quite a while to just kind of get the price down. And I just recently got it just this week. And this is Castlevania: Lord of Shadows. Again, I can't really tell you much about it because I don't really know much about it. Other than that, it feels and plays a bit like a Devil May Cry kind of game. Um, but I've never played a Castlevania game before, so this is kind of my first outing. I know it's completely different to some of the older Castlevania games that come out with, especially like the old 2D side-scrolling action platformer games. This is obviously a bit different because it's all in 3D, it's adventure exploring. Yeah, so. And this one is the Amazing Spider-Man. And again, for a game based on a movie, it's actually quite good. A lot of the Spider-Man games of late have been pretty poor in terms of gameplay. The last movie outing game, Spider-Man 3, was horrendous. Um, and there's been a few okay sort of follow-ups since then that have all kind of not been based on any of the movies such as Web of Shadows, which I quite liked. There's also been Shattered Dimensions and a few other ones I can't remember, to be honest with you. But this one's really good. It's again, it's set in New York, the whole open world New York kind of thing, but it's more fluid. The controls a lot more fluid, and it makes playing Spider-Man a lot more fun. There's hidden things around the city as well, which kind of give you an inkling to go and sort of explore New York. But just kind of the whole pace and speed of things going around the city is fun. Again, the levels in terms of the storyline are quite linear, and it's always kind of same stuff, infiltrator based. Kind of be stealthy, or you can just go in all guns blazing, but usually results in you dying, so you kind of have to play a bit half and half. And it's just kind of going through a level, like goons, rescuing someone or doing something, and then getting back out again. So it's kind of a bit linear, and it sounds dull, but it is just a fun game to play. It doesn't look overly great, but the whole motion of Spider-Man swinging is done quite well. And for a movie tie-in game, it's one of the better ones for the last out of a lot of games that have come out. And a new one I got today, which I only purchased on the whim of actually hearing a friend playing it rather than actually getting seen being played. And this is Catherine. Again, I don't really know a lot about this game other than, Catherine is based on one of the girls in the game. There's two Catherines, one with a K, one with a C. And you're going out with the one with the K and end up sleeping with the one whose name is spelled with the C. You're kind of torn between which choices, which girl to go for. You're having nightmares, and the nightmares are kind of represented in this form of these puzzles which you kind of have to solve. But there's morale choices to pick throughout the game as well, which kind of alters the storyline, I think, and how the levels play out. I haven't played it yet, so I'm going to play it today, but like I said, a mate was playing this the other day, and I was playing the Xbox and I could overhear it on his headset, and just by what I heard I was quite intrigued. I never really looked into this game before buying it. But again, it was cheap, so again, on a whim, I bought it. So, and another one. This is the last game, I promise you. Yes, it is. This is Binary Domain. Again, I haven't really played this, so most of these games have only just come in the last 2-3 days. Played a demo of this one, I thought it was quite fun. I mainly bought it just to play online with some of my mates that bought this game as well. And I like the whole idea of playing single player. If you've got a headset, you can kind of command your squad via your headset. Very much like the SOCOM game I had on PS2, which was quite fun because you've got people talk to you in your earpiece and you can dish out commands. It works well if they can understand your accents. Obviously, if you've got sort of quite strong accents, I can imagine it'd be quite challenging to get some of these options kind of picked up correctly by your headset. But again, it's a futuristic kind of squad-based action shooting game. That's all I really know about it. And it's about kind of robots that have kind of become more lifelike and have been released into society. Struggling to talk today. Yeah, so I mean, again, I picked it up just because it was cheap, and I liked the demo, and I wanted to play with other friends, because you can play co-op online 2 to 4 players, and there's also multiplayer modes as well. So yeah, that's all the games. I know it's a few, but I'm trying not to buy games and end up kind of having a spending spree because I sold my Sony Vita just because I wasn't using it. I keep trying to get into handheld gaming and I'm struggling, so I end up usually selling it. I've had a 3DS, that lasted 2 months. Again, I've had a PS Vita, that lasted 2 months. So consoles seem to dominate my life at the moment, so that's why I'm sticking to that. So the money I got from the Vita, I've used to buy these games, because I'm supposed to be saving for Eurogamer in September, which is not that long away. So hopefully this month, because I've bought all this stuff, I'm not going to buy anything else. So I haven't actually used any of my own money, just what I made from the sale for the Vita. So that's where all these games and DVDs have come from. And I've got another little thing to show you at the end of the video, which was purchased at the beginning of the month. I've spoken about it to a few friends, but I haven't actually shown how it works and what it is. But I'll do that after, at the end, once I've done the DVDs. So we'll go into the DVDs now. And the first one I got today is a film I've been wanting to hunt down on DVD for quite a while, but it's very difficult to get a copy of. But I had to get this on a twin pack. And this is The Clown at Midnight and The Phantom Racer. Again, haven't got a clue about The Phantom Racer. I did a bit of research on it last night and I went to YouTube to find a trailer of it. It looks okay, but this one I've been wanting to see for quite a while. Don't really know much about it, to be honest with you. It's just I like. Well, I don't like clowns. I hate clowns. But I like horror films with clowns in them because I don't like clowns. I find that usually when I try to watch a film with clowns in it, because I'm looking to be scared or freaked out, and so I buy these films because it's got something unsettling in it for me. Um, but you know, it's about a clown that's killing off people that are doing up an old opera house. And it stars Margot Kidder and Tatiana Ali, who, if people know her from, she is an R&B singer, but she was also in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and she was the young daughter. Again, yeah, this has only come today, so I'm going to watch this one tonight and hopefully check this one out. It seems okay. It's probably sort of a low budget kind of horror, but the trailer makes it look okay. And to continue on with my collection of Seth MacFarlane, I got the American Dad Season 7. Now, to be honest with you, this has been my favourite series so far, and it's surpassing Family Guy in terms of its humour and just the episodes. You know, I've never laughed so much during a series of American Dad as I have done with this one. It's getting a little bit more ruder, a bit more cruder, and more grown up, and there's a lot more swearing in it. But so this has got the too rude for TV extras on it as well, but you know, this was brilliant. I mean, I've seen the odd bits of episodes on Sky. You know, this was fantastic, and you know, it's 3 discs, 19 episodes, a must buy. But out of all the series that I have, obviously I've got 1 to 6 already. This is actually my favourite one so far. Another film, again, I haven't actually opened yet. I've only just recently got this one, mainly because it has Ryan Reynolds in it, and I kind of do have the hots for him. Admittedly, this is Safe House. I mainly bought this because, like I said, Ryan Reynolds, but obviously, you know, it's a good action thriller. Again, I don't really know much about it. The trailer kind of pulled me in, and I thought, well, I quite fancy this. And again, I picked up at my local supermarket quite cheap, especially considering it's a new film. So that's why I bought that one. But once I watch this one, I'll probably mention it maybe next time. I keep saying I'm going to watch these and talk about them later on, but then I forget. But I will probably go back through and do an actual video just devoted to DVDs and some of my favourite films I've watched. So hopefully, when I get time, you know, if I get time, when I get time. And again, to follow up with box set tradition, this is South Park season 15. I've got series 1 to 14 already, so again, bought this just to keep on going with the collecting the series. Again, it's quite a good series, this one. You know, it's got the Human Sentai Pad, which is a classic episode, and the one where Cartman has finally has to grow up and kind of has a breakdown and all his toys get murdered off. It's got some good episodes on here. It's got some good extras on here as well, but how long you know, it's got a documentary called 6 Days to Air, that tells you how to make South Park, how to make an episode of South Park, and some of the time constraints you have. Because you will find that most of the episodes you watch are quite up to date with current events. But you know, it's just typical South Park again. You know, it's one of my favourite TV series. So again, this will be one that I'll keep going until South Park die. I'll keep collecting these. And another film which won't be everyone's cup of tea, but I really liked it. This is Jack and Jill, and it's Adam Sandler, and he plays the role of Jack and Jill, who are brothers and sisters, or twins. It's just a kind of comedy thing. She comes to stay with him and kind of causes havoc in his life. Yeah, you know, it got pretty much canned by a lot of reviewers when it came out. But, you know, I quite like Adam Sandler comedies. I've never kind of watched one I haven't really liked. This one's okay actually. I thought it was quite funny. You know, it's got Al Pacino in it. Probably you know people want to put that on his resume that he was in this film. But you know, I quite liked it. It's quirky and it's fun in parts. And you know, he does pull off dressing as a woman quite well, which is scary enough. But yeah, it's okay. And the next selection of films I've only just got yesterday, so I haven't really watched any of them. but they're all horror films. As you know, I do like my horror films. This one is Grave Encounters. Been wanting to see this one quite a while. Again, it's maybe a bit of a Marmite film. I think some people hate it, some people love it. The trailer for it on YouTube got like millions of views. I think quite popular. Very similar to kind of Paranormal Activity kind of style filmmaking. It's a group of people, paranormal investigators go into a hospital, psychiatric hospital. Again, lock themselves in and film it. It's typical run-of-the-mill kind of film that you get nowadays to do with ghosts. But it's supposed to be one of the better ones. So I'm really looking forward to watching this one. And another one which is very similar in counter that, this is going to be After Dark films, which make some quite good horror films. They usually kind of release a bundle of about 8 every year. And this one's called The Task. Again, kind of scary clown mask costume on there. But again, they go into an abandoned prison, but it's like a TV show, game show, and you have to do tasks. But there's some evil presence or some manic man dressed in a costume with a kind of killing people off. Again, very similar to kind of Grave Encounters, but a slightly different twist to storyline. So I'm intrigued to see what the differences and how they kind of play out between the two. I'll try and watch these one after another just to kind of see comparisons. They did come out kind of fairly similar. I think this one came out first, and then it was followed by Grave Encounters. And another one which is a 1980s, quite well known for 1980s. It's not very good, but it was banned. But I managed to get this one. It's a European copy, but it does play in English. And this is the Boogeyman. Again, I watched most of this last night. Can't say a lot about it, to be honest with you. It's neither bad, but it's neither great. It's badly edited in parts. Some of the scenes don't look like they've been very well sort of put together, and they kind of just jot up from one bit to the next without kind of any explanation. But even the beginning of the film, it's a weird opening. But these kids kill the lover of their mother, and somehow his soul or his presence gets trapped in this mirror, which was kind of watching. The mirror was in the bedroom, and it's so weird. But basically, the guy trapped in the mirror, his soul, his dead presence, was trapped in the mirror. And like 15 years later down the line, the daughter is grown up. She smashes the mirror and releases him, so starts kind of killing people and coming after the son and daughter, which killed him like 15 years ago. It's a weird film. It's a wee bit gory. It's an odd storyline. I bought it just because of the whole kind of notoriety about it, because it's penned for kind of being quite kind of sexist towards women because it uses them as victims. But like most 80s century movies, where it's kind of part of the video nasties kind of thing. There is a sequel to this, but I don't know what that's like and if it kind of follows on or not. It's okay. I just check it out just because of the whole kind of background to it, and kind of, it's a very difficult film to find on DVD as well. Like I said, this is a European copy, so it's all in English on the front, but it's all German on the back, but it plays in English. And the last but not least is two other movies, and they're very similar again in kind of storyline and genre, again horror, but this one's called The Devil in Me, and it's about a college student who goes to see a psychic, but something goes wrong, and so they end up getting possessed, but it's like kind of a breakdown and how she ends up getting possessed. She keeps blacking out and these weird things that happen to her. Again, I haven't watched it. This one I bought merely because I saw the trailer for it, because I was looking for another film, which I'm talking about next. But again, I'm going to try and watch most of these over the weekend, hopefully. I've got the rest of the evening and all tomorrow, so plenty of time, I hope, if gaming doesn't get in the way. Moving on to the next one, sticking to the theme of possession and exorcism, I got The Devil Inside. Now, I know this film is meant to be bloody awful. You go to Amazon and look at all the reviews, and you're lucky to find most of the time it's got 1 star, mainly because people have to put 1 star, I think. Again, I said, a lot of people say the trailer makes the film look good, but the actual film itself is rubbish. But I don't try to fall into kind of pressure from reviews and negative reviews. I bought this merely because I want to see it and it looked intriguing, and it's a kind of film I quite enjoy. So I'm going to make up my own mind about this one. If it's awful, it's awful, but I do like my fair share of awful horror movies. And it looks okay, to be honest with you. The trailer does make the film look quite good, but people say the acting's bad and there's only a few scary bits in it. But I don't, I'm not that bothered. I just wanted to see it again, so why not? So that is my DVDs and my games. Now I'm going to quickly move on. Hopefully it won't take too long. Talk about a little device that I bought, and it is an Android tablet. And this is the HTC Flyer, and it's a 7-inch capacitive touchscreen Android tablet. It's quite heavy. It weighs, how much does it weigh? It weighs 420 grams, mainly because it has a metallic back, typical of HTC. It's a very good solid build and design, and it comes with a 5 megapixel rear camera. I don't know if you can see there, but there is a 1.3 megapixel front-facing camera as well. It's got a 1.5 gigahertz processor, and this is a 32 gigabyte device, so it's got 32 gigabyte storage. But I can expand that as well up by another 32 gigabytes, I think. It takes a SD card in here. This also has Wi-Fi and 3G, so it takes a SIM card, which I've tried and it works fairly well. And you get text messages and that stuff on here as well. It basically ends up turning this device into a rather large mobile phone. I've got an HTC Windows Mobile, which is this, and it basically just makes this into this heavier, bigger, and a bit more bulkier. So I've not bothered with the 3G side of it. I'm just going to stick to my phone. But yeah, it's a really good, nifty device, actually, to be honest with you. I did have an iPad, but I sold that about a year ago. I just found it too bulky for me, especially for kind of on the go. And I dislike the lack of flash support, which is why I got this instead. And it also comes, this is what makes this different from most Android, tablets, is that it comes with this, which is a smart pen, and it has 2 buttons on here. It's mainly got one for highlighting and one for erasing, but it enables me to use this on the screen. Just unlock it. It's a fairly good, vivid, sharp screen. It runs on, I think it's the Gingerbread update. I think it started off on Honeycomb, but I've updated it to Gingerbread, and soon it'll be going on to Ice Cream Sandwich. So it's fairly fluid. It has changed the way it works. Before, the stylus you could only use to do screen capturing and doodling, but now you can use the stylus to operate the whole device. Again, it's got auto rotation on the screen, and you can see there's a little pen button down in the corner there. But yeah, it's a really fast, fluid device. It can hold quite a bit. Again, it's very fluid, runs very well. It comes with pretty much what you'd expect with an Android device. You've got your Google search, Google Play Store, which is basically your Android market, Playbooks, which is the bookstore, similar to. But I have got Kindle on this as well, a Kobe Reader. Comes with installed quite a few apps already on it. Most of it Google, but it comes with like Maps, navigation, and of course the HTC hub and all that kind of stuff. There's gallery. I've added on like eBay and Amazon and all that kind of stuff I use. It also comes with Facebook and Twitter installed and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it runs really well, and it's a great little tablet. Again, it's heavy for a device, but mainly because it's got a metal back. But it's a very good device, and I'm really pleased with it. So that is me. sorry if I've gone on a bit too much, but I did have quite a bit to go through. I do try and hope that I try and keep my videos short and end up kind of not. But again, I always appreciate people watching. Again, you know, if you like what you see, you can subscribe. I'm not going to force you, but you know, more the merrier, to be honest with you. But you know, I do appreciate that you guys, you know, people who do watch these videos spend the time to watch them. So again, you know, keep it real, and I'll catch you again soon. Thanks very much.